story of the 80-day battle against the flying bomb having now been lifted, we can for the first time publish secret films photographed at the killing grounds in southern England.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's episode of Lewis Presents. I'm here in Grove Road, Bow, London E3. And just behind me over there, that railway bridge, just behind it is a plaque dedicated to the events that happened here on the 13th of June 1944. At 8 minutes past 4 in the morning, an explosion was heard, and people said passers-by saw a strange flying object in the sky. What they were seeing was a V1 rocket, today's forerunner of the ballistic missile. What had begun was the Second Great Battle of London, the Battle of the V1. Winston Churchill and his war cabinet quickly sprang into action. They knew something had to be done against this new flying menace. They mounted 1,000 guns at Dover, 3.7-inch guns, 40mm Bofor guns and 20mm Espinola guns. They literally chucked up a wall of lead against this new flying V1 rocket. Once they got past that part of the defence, the next part of the defence was the barrage balloon, and the barrage balloons accounted for 300 of these flying objects. After that, the next line of defence was the Spitfires and the Tempests of the Royal Air Force. Once you shot one, it was a ton of TNT exploding in the sky. They were literally flying through a fireball. But on the 23rd of June 1944, a new technique came into being. Roy Collier was flying a Spitfire and he was attached to 91 Squadron of the RAF. It was an Australian pilot. He was pursuing a V1 rocket over the English coast that was bound for London. He kept shooting at the V1, but all to no avail, with no success. Then the unthinkable happened. His ammunition ran out. He tried a new procedure, a new manoeuvre that other RAF pilots were going to pursue. He flew his Spitfire right up with the wings of the V1 rocket, and he knew if he knocked the gyroscope that was the guidance system for this rocket, he could knock it off course. He tipped the wings, but the V1 was still on course for London, as now it was flying upside down. He tried the technique again. This time the V1 spun off. It crash landed in a field in East Grinstead in Surrey, causing no loss of life. Roy Collier took down 7 more V1 rockets with this technique. By October of 1944, the flying of V1 rockets over London were temporarily suspended when the Allies were overrunning all the launch sites in France. The last V1 rocket fell on London on March 29th, 1945. And then 6 weeks later, the war in Europe was over on the 8th of May in 1945. The people of the United Kingdom rejoiced, especially the people here in the East End that had endured so much. They'd endured the Blitz, the V1 rockets, and peace had come at a cost. 10,000 V1 rockets were launched at London, 7,000 missed, 2,000 hit their target, and 1,000 were shot down. And the list of human beings, of casualties, was intense. 24,000 casualties, of which 6,000 people died, and 1 million more were made homeless. But here in the East End, on the 8th of May 1945, the air raid sirens went off for the last time. It was announcing the all clear. Thanks for watching today's episode of Lewis Presents. It was entitled V1 Summer.